The mystery box. One of the greatest mechanics to ever grace gaming, let alone Call of Duty. A box capable of giving players literally anything and everything that can fire bullets. Anything and everything that can be used to dismantle hordes of the undead. Will you receive something good? Will you receive something bad? Quite frankly, you just never know. But the one thing you can always guarantee is that dopamine rush every time you spend those 950 points. The chance of getting the ray gun, the thunder gun, the apothecant servant, just tingling all of the right places of your brain, only to then get something like the Dragunov or the Essex Model 7. And that's the beauty of the mystery box. So today, I'm going to be doing a one-box challenge on every single Treyarch Zombies game from World at War all the way up to Cold War Zombies. Now there's only two rules for this challenge. The first being, I'm only allowed to hit the box once. It's kind of self-explanatory, to be honest. Rule number 2 is no do-overs. If I pull something incredible from the box, or maybe something not even that good, but then die on, say, round 7, that's it for that game. It's over and we move on. Before we get into this, please do drop a like on the video as it really does help out the channel, and also let me know in the comments what other challenges you want to see me do. First up, we have World at War, and I chose to do this on Shinonuma. I know I could have done this on Darius and have access to the Pack-a-Punch, but today I just decided to change it up a bit, really channeling those 4 brain cells, you know? I knew I needed to hit the box pretty sharpish, so I got to grinding out points, and by the end of round 2, I had a nice stack of cheddar. Headed down to the box, and all I was thinking about was the PPSH, or the Wonder Waffle, the MG42. I got the sawed-off shotgun. Not quite what I was hoping for, and I am more of a fan of its longer twin, but sawn-off isn't an awful pick, and I was feeling a little confident for this. Plus, we have plenty of other games to get some goodies. But now we had our gun perks were the next thing on the list. As you have no idea where any of the perks will be spawning on Shinonuma, I just headed down to the fishing hut, so at least I had a good training spot opened up. We get the fishing hut open, and the first perk we get is Speed Cola. Actually a pretty good perk for World at War. But it wouldn't really matter as literally 15 seconds later, after opening up the hut, I died. The zombie tanks a headshot and then just proceeds to beat the piss out of me, and I'm dead. So, yeah, it's a great start, huh? Alright, 1 down and 5 to go. This time we're on Call of the Dead on Black Ops 1. And the box was in a pretty awful spot, right at the back of the boat, all the way over by Mule Kick. Normally this wouldn't bother me, but only having a pistol and a knife to get that far, not fun. Honestly kind of stressful, especially having George stalking you the entire time. With the box being where it was, I needed about 4,000 points to make it there, so that's a lot of knifing. But slowly and painfully, I eventually get my points together and head over to the box. There is a ton of great guns in Black Ops 1, the Commando, the Galil, HK-21, RPK, I mean I could always get the ray gun or the Scavenger, but I got the M72 Law. Yeah, so I obviously did what anyone would do in this position. I aimed it straight at my feet to unalive myself, and I didn't. Like, hello? How am I surviving a rocket explosion like that without PhD? So, with our newly discovered plot armor and rocket launcher, I tried my best to get through these opening rounds, and let me tell you, this was not fun, like, at all. Sure, pack-a-punching this thing when you've already got an established setup, bunch of fun. It being your only weapon, I'd rather walk on Lego. I painstakingly make my way through round 4 and I'm back at spawn, and I'm joined by George. So, I decided to start trying to whittle down his health for those extra perks. Which, of course, the M72 does practically nothing to him. Oh, but then tragedy strikes. He gets a little too close as I hit him with a rocket and he bops me to the ground. Just how sad. Anyway, Black Ops 2. Alright, we're on Buried for Black Ops 2, and surely we can't have a third stinker in a row. It's not possible, right? I picked Buried for this one mainly due to how easy it is to get free perks here, and also Vault Trade and the ability to regain ammo. Even though it doesn't give back much, it's better than nothing. End of round 1, we head down to the box. Once again, this game has a bunch of great guns. The hammer being the one that I was especially wanting, but I got the DSR. Now this is by far my favorite Call of Duty sniper, like of all time, but to have it as your only gun, yeah, I don't know if that's what you want. Like, no. But I was confident for this one at least. A couple rounds go by and we've got Leroy out of his cage and we're opening up the map. But then on round 4, I take a really dumb down, zombies are crowding our boy, and I don't want to shoot and upset him, so I go to knife Leroy and the game locks onto one of the zombies, I think behind him, and I end up getting the old wombo combo, and before I even have a chance to react, I'm in the dirt. But nothing to worry about. An early down does not mean we're in big trouble. Round 6 and Jug is bought, giving me a nice sense of security. That is until I notice that I am running extremely low on ammo and I don't yet have any way of getting bullets for this gun, as I haven't got Vault Trade opened yet. But by some luck of the gods, my second to last bullet, we collateral a couple of zombies and one of them drops me the goods, and max ammo. At this point I was thinking, this is it. I've got a guardian angel looking over me and this game making sure that I'm all groovy. I died 20 seconds later. Now, in my defense, I'm taking out zombies, but only having 4 bullets in a magazine means you're going to be reloading a lot, and unfortunately, as I need to reload, I get trapped. I think I've escaped them, but of course, there's always just one more zombie waiting in the shadows, and he takes me out. 3 runs down, and I've survived a combined total of 16 rounds. I ain't even got past round 10 once. These one-box challenges really do know how to treat a guy, huh? 3 runs down and 3 more still on the board, and it's now time for Black Ops 3. I needed a good run. I was starting to feel defeated and we were only halfway done. There has to be a savior for this challenge, surely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Der Eisendrache. Yes, I chose one of the harder maps on Black Ops 3, but I didn't care because I was so confident that this was the run where things changed. MR6 in hand, we began grinding together our points. Annoyingly, the box was literally on the other side of the map, meaning we had quite a ways to go before we had our box weapon. But slowly and meticulously, knife kill after knife kill, grenade after grenade, we had enough for the box. We get it opened and we get monkey bombs, which don't count. I mean, I took them because F you, I deserve them after the BS I've already been through, but we spin it again. The Dingo, KRM, Haymaker, Drakon, all up for grabs, and I get the Brecci. The broccoli gun itself is now our weapon of choice. Not the best gun in the game, but certainly nowhere near the worst either. Gun in hand, it was now time to start gathering together my perks. Jug and Double Tap were absolute must-haves, and the final perk, I was honestly considering maybe grabbing Widow's Wine or Stamina Up. I already had a speed loader attachment on the Brecci, but in the end I did cave and I took the easy route and got speed. And yes, I could have used Gobblegums, but where's the fun in that? Now, I may not have been using Gobblegums that give me free perks, but I did use cashback just to give me some max ammos, and I don't care what anyone says, okay? They're there to be used, so just shut up. It's not like I was using one of the OP ones, okay? And things were finally going pretty damn well. This time around, we finally broke past round 10. I know, such an accomplishment. Come round 14, Pack-a-Punch was up. Totally didn't forget how to activate it on this map. Definitely not, but we but we throw the Brecci in and we get the Stellar Screech back, which as always, what a name. And as I had some extra time and cheddar on my hands, we got it repack-a-punched and received Fireworks, which I actually think is a great AAT, especially on shotguns. However, it wouldn't be staying as I am a sucker for a good old crutch item, and Deadwire was calling my name, and lo and behold, we get it almost immediately. Round 15, great gun, AAT combo, 4 decent perks. I was feeling it. I will say the only thing about the Eisendrache that I've never really got down is simply just a good training spot. I naturally gravitate for the area by the Death Ray, one, as it's nice, sizable spot, plus, you know, the Death Ray basically being the ultimate get out of jail card, but I didn't go down that route today. Instead, I chose this pretty unconventional spot near Double Tap, and it worked. Kinda. Yes, it was a little nervy here and there, but we made it work. And it did work as we cruised into round 20, and the Brecci, albeit mainly due to Deadwire, was still making light work of these zombies, and even the Panzer was no match for this gun. But as all good things, it didn't last and a down was inevitable. Beginning of round 21, I'm running low on ammo and I decide to hit the gate trap, and my naive mind, I'm thinking I can make it to the Gobblegun machine before this gate slams down on my head. I was wrong. Very wrong, in fact, and we end up taking our first down of the game. Not the best way to take your first down, but it wasn't too big a deal as I quickly got my perks back. Round 25 was here, and I gotta say, I've missed playing this map. It's been a very long time since I've played the Eisendrache, let alone put it on the channel, and oh man, it feels good to be back. Like, if you don't like this map, you have no idea what you're missing out on. And I get it might be suffering a bit from the overhyped nature, and everyone seems to love this map and always rates it highly, but sometimes a good map simply is just a good map. Plus, castles are effing cool, alright? Round 26 is where we end up taking a second down. I'm getting ready to start taking out the wave, shoot a few and proc Deadwire, but as I go to loop back around, I get get hit, losing all momentum, and then it's just a case of when I'm going down. And I'm not gonna lie, going down there and seeing the wave split the way it did, half going up to double tap, the other half going down to spawn, I was dead ass in a zombie sandwich and thought it was game over. Luckily for me, Deadwire comes in clutch and saves me, and we get an insta-kill, which just saves me even more. Now that down wouldn't be the last, and around 28, just after getting all of my perks back, I take another. I get backed into a corner, and well, I'm sure you can figure out how the rest of this goes. At this point, we have no more quick revive, so it's time we pull out the Chad move and buy Stamina Up as our 4th perk. And it does me well. We reach round 30 where I have no ammo and of course a Panzer spawns, so I have no bullets and now get to be chased around by a psychopath in a tin suit. I've already shot him a bunch with the shotgun, so I'm thinking the death ray will probably finish him off. It just doesn't. This freak in a can just shrugs it off as if it's tickling him, and I'm now pretty much screwed. That is until I throw out my final monkey, spin a cashback from the gobblegum machine, and just go to town. Round 30 is completed and we can relax a little bit. From now on, I stayed up and around the death ray for that get out of jail card as I mentioned earlier. But around 32, it was game over. I get myself stuck and take a few hits. I miss my shot somehow, which forces me down to the Wonder Fizz area, and of course, there's just a zombie hiding behind that wall, waiting to finish the job. And he does exactly that. Our Black Ops 3 one-box challenge comes to an end on round 32. I've got to say as well, this was a much needed come up, and I'm happy with that round, but now we've got 2 more games to try and beat it. Look, alright, I know what you're going to say. Black Ops 4 and we're playing Blood of the Dead. I know it's not the smartest decision I've ever made, but, you know, gotta add a little spice here and there, so that's what I did. I did also start with the Essex, which because of the Essex round 50 I did a few days ago, and I just completely forgot that I had it selected, so yay, I guess. The box was over in the power room, so I made my way over there almost immediately. Power is on, and now all I needed was the points. A couple of headshots later, and I had what I needed. Now it was time for the box, and there's only really one weapon anyone ever wants on Black Ops 4, and that's the Hellion, which I didn't get. Instead I got the Argus, or the Argus. Safe to say I've not had the best of luck with these today, huh? My luck gets worse as well at the end of round 4. I'm heading over the catwalk, Argus in hand, insta-kill running, and it's struggling to kill things. I mean, it kills things easy enough, but the fire rate with this thing is just awful. And when you've got zombies running you down back and front, it's just not great. I end up popping my special weapon, but apparently you have to wait a half a year to start swinging, and I take it down. Perfect start right here, you know? Things only get worse from here on, as I have hardly any ammo, and by the end of round 5, I'm completely out. I'm down by the second power switch, waiting for the final few zombies to spawn in. With them taken out with my Ray Fire, it's time for round 6, and it's dogs, which is great for me. With the Ray Fires and our special weapon, we breeze through this round, and I finally have some ammo. Power's up next. We get it turned on, and now I have to take on the big boy himself, Brutus. And after 8 headshots, he finally goes down, and I realized that if I want to stand a chance of even getting close to round 30, Pack-a-Punch is very much needed, and needed now. But there is one pretty big problem. I don't remember where the parts for the shield are on this map. So after about 15 minutes of just running around, I finally had the final piece I needed, and we get the shield built. Up to the roof next for Pack-a-Punch, but there was another problem. Basically, again, I couldn't remember how to get Pack-a-Punch turned on. Did I have to shoot the power switch thing or the skull? And I chose the skull, which was obviously wrong. Look, okay, anyone who says they remember everything about all of the maps is either lying or just a freak of nature who needs to be studied. And finally, on round 14, we get the Argus Pack-a-Punched, and we have a little bit of safety restored, until I took it down about 30 seconds later. I've started to notice a common theme of getting or doing something good and then immediately going down afterwards. I promise I do know how to play this game. So with all of my downs now used up, I got the Argus fully Pack-a-Punched and headed back down into the prison. I decided to train in the old mule kick room. Things looked to be going well. That was until Brutus spawned directly in front of me whilst I had almost a full wave of zombies chasing me, and I died. Yeah, probably wasn't the best idea doing this one on Blood, but oh well. And that leads us into the finale of today's video, Cold War Zombies. After a pretty pitiful attempt that was Blood, I opted to do this on one of the slightly easier maps with the machine. I also decided to change up the rules a bit for this game. Being able to get all 10 perks, level 3 armor, ammo mods, weapon upgrades, made me think that I'd just blast through around 30 with almost anything the box gave me. So I put a few rules in place for this game. A maximum of 4 perks is allowed, but I'm allowed to pick any 4 perks that I choose, and level 2 armor. I feel like level 2 armor kind of matched the amount of safety you get from shields in other games, so that's kind of why I chose level 2. I will also be running Rampage Inducer on, and I have to start with a pistol. So rules in place, we got to it, and I very quickly remembered just how good the 1911 was, and then immediately realized that out of all of the games, this is the one where I can get shafted the most from the box. Not only is there a good selection of absolute stinkers, I could also get melee weapons like the sledgehammer or the baseball bat, which I was dreading because if anyone is going to pull those weapons during a one-box challenge, it's going to be me. End of round 6, I had just under 15,000 points and began heading through the map. First perk purchase of the game was also made with the pickup of Stamina Up. I mean, best perk in the game, so of course I'm going to buy it. Then it was time for the box. Plenty of great weapons to choose from. The Hauer, XM4, KSP, even the 1911. And I got the goddamn Pellington. Like, of course I would. I've had 3 shotguns, 2 snipers, and a rocket launcher across 6 different games and box hits. Every single time I do a challenge like this, I swear the zombie gods just turn off my box look. With that disappointing spin, I followed up by purchasing Jug. Nothing like a little bit of extra health. I stayed around the crashed plane for a round or 2 just to get familiar with the Pellington. Sniping wasn't really my thing with Cold War, so I just had to, warm up the hands a little bit. Now the snipers in this game, for zombies at least, have the best damage output in the game. They can do some ridiculous things, but they're still awful. And what makes them so bad is the lack of penetration. And don't say it, you gremlins, okay? Considering the fact that every other iteration of zombies, the snipers can kill upwards of 5, 6, 7, 8 plus zombies with a well-placed shot, as you would expect, in Cold War, you'll get 3. Yep, just 3. That is it. You might every now and then get extremely lucky and get 4, but 99% of the time you're only ever going to kill a maximum of 3 enemies, and it sucks. Now that we've got that little rant out of the way, I headed down to the bunker on round 7 to begin getting Pack-a-Punch open, and soon after it was all done. It was also now that I decided to upgrade the rarity of my sniper from green to blue, as I still didn't have the cheddar for Pack-a-Punch. Round 9 and we had our first real challenge as the Megaton spawned, and I won't lie, having a sniper to take down this guy actually makes him a little scarier than usual. But with a couple of very rushed shots, we get his health down and he splits. With all but a handful of the zombies toasted, I turned my attention to the blasters, which both went down pretty easily. Before I ended the round, I headed down to the Pack-a-Punch and got the Pellington upgraded, and we now have the Pellegrino della Morte, which is such a cool name. It was also now time for perk number 3, and I chose Deadshot. I was debating quite a bit whether it was actually worth picking up Deadshot, purely due to the amount of damage snipers already deal, but considering I'd be dealing with my fair share of Megatons, I thought the extra damage for those fights was probably worth it. Which actually proved to be correct, as in round 12 we had our next Megaton spawn, and we took down his first phase in one shot, and both of the blasters also went down in one shot, making life just so much easier. Well, for a short while at least anyway. The following round we got our second Pack-a-Punch of the game, and I was now dealing over 30,000 damage per headshot. The fact I still had 2 rarity upgrades and a Pack-a-Punch to go until max level, and the damage was already that insane, actually kind of makes me excited to use these for the round 50 with all Cold War guns video, which, by the way, coming along very nicely, but my brain is feeling like soup every time I play this game now. Oh god, when will it end? Anyway, as I started cutting my way through these rounds, the Pellington pretty quickly slowed up. It could still kill enemies no problem at all, but the fact I was only killing 2 or 3 zombies every couple of seconds just wasn't it. So in round 18, I upgraded the rarity to purple, and then at the end of round 19, I Pack-a-Punched the Pellington up to tier 3, and also decided to put Shatterblast on it. I wanted to see how far I could get before doing this, but the fact it was taking 2 to 3 times longer just to get through rounds, it just wasn't fun at all. Shatterblast equipped, and I could now start bombing through these rounds, which is exactly what I did. Round 21, I bought Quick Revive. This mainly came down to the fact that I was getting hit like a lot, so to try and combat that and dying, Quick Revive seemed like a good pickup. The Pellington at this point was dealing upwards of 90,000 damage, which means the vast majority of zombies stand absolutely no chance against this thing, and even the Megaton didn't stand a chance, as on round 22 it was still one-shotting the big guy. However, the fun wouldn't last. Beginning of round 26, and I didn't have any armor, so I ran down and bought some, only to have a bunch of zombies spawn behind me, forcing me to now go the long way back to spawn. Now, for some reason, instead of just running straight through, I decided to turn around and try and take out a few enemies. I missed my shots because apparently I'm awful at sniping, and I get myself trapped and we take it down. What made this worse was the door in the tunnel was still closed and both exits were packed with zombies. So I tried to head the way that was blocked, hoping I'd have enough time to get it open. I did not, and I take a second down. This time there was no reviving and we bow out on round 26, meaning that Brekkie and Black Ops 3 are the clear kings of the one box challenge. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.